Welcome to Infinity IAS Academy. My name is Sagar Sharma and we are here with another video which discusses about the important national parks which were in news recently. And this video is the continuation of the series which we started, where we'll be taking important topics related to environment. Now, the important national park that we'll be discussing today is the Periyar National Park. And this national park was in news because the authorities of the national park, they have started teaching a young tiger cub so that it could hunt in wild. Now, it is also a wildlife sanctuary, and along with that, it is also a elephant reserve. Now, this national park, it is located in the Idukki and the Pathanamthitta district of the state of Kerala. The important aspects, if we are to discuss, now the total area of the forested region is around 950 square kilometers, and out of that, the national park, it forms the part of the core zone, which is around 305 square kilometers, and there are important endemic, endangered, both flora and fauna species which are found in the national park. And there are two important rivers, that is the Periyar and the Pamba river, which flows through the national park. And this national park also has the important Cardamom Hills and the Pandalam Hills of the Western Ghats, which are present in the national park. Now, Cardamom Hills, they are also known as Ilaichi Pahadi in Hindi, so remember the name. Now, the other aspects are that we'll be discussing about the important rivers which flow through the national park. So, the two important rivers that flow through the national park are the Periyar and the Pamba river. And if we are to take the Pamba river, it is also known as Pampa river. And this river is famous because the famous Sabrimala temple, which is dedicated to Lord Ayyappa, it is located on the bank of this river. And this river is also the third longest river in the state of Kerala after the Periyar and the Bharatpuzha river. This national park is also famous for the notable peaks like the Velimala, Karimala and Sundarmala peaks. And also the national park has a Periyar lake, that is, it was built during the Mullaperiyar Dam when it was also built in 1895. So it was the time when the Periyar lake, a reservoir, was also built in the national park. Now, the national park, the river Periyar, which flows through the national park, it provides a constant source of water for the species which inhabit this national park. The other important aspects, now we'll be discussing about the types of vegetation which are found in the national park. Now, this national park has tropical evergreen, moist deciduous forest, and also the grasslands are found in the national park. There are various kind of grasses like the elephant grass which are found in this national park, and there are various kind of trees species like teak, rosewood, jamun, mangoes, tamarind, and tamarind is known as imli in Hindi. And the park also has medicine gloriosa lily. Now remember this name as it is found in the national park. So we'll be discussing about the important animal species that are found in the national park, and the most important among them are the Asian elephants. As I told you that the national park is also an elephant reserve, and the other important species are Nilgiri Thar, loin-tailed macaw, Nilgiri langur, sloth bear, dhole, that are the wild dogs, and this is a Nilgiri langur. So you can take a look at the Nilgiri langur. So the other details about the national park. Now, this national park is also home to the birds. The various kind of birds which are found in the national park are darters, kingfisher, the Malabar hornbill, and the racket-tailed drongos. And there are various kind of reptiles like monitor lizard, python, which are also found in the national park. Now, this national park is also home for 6 tribal communities, and the prominent ones are Manans, Palyans, Uralis. Now, these are the tribal communities which reside in the national park. Now, the other national park that we'll be discussing today is the Ervikulam National Park, which is also located in the state of Kerala. Now, this national park was in use because a landslide was reported in the national park. And this national park is also famous for the Nilgiri Thar, which is having a dedicated sanctuary for the Nilgiri Thar in order to conserve them. And Nilgiri Thar, the IUCN status is endangered. So remember this IUCN status of Nilgiri Thar. And this national park, it is located in the Idukki district of Kerala. So moving ahead further about the other important aspects of the national park. Now the national park, it is located in the Western Ghat, which is quite obvious as it is located in the state of Kerala. And the total area of the national park is 97 square kilometers. And the other important detail about the national park is the Anaimudai peak, which is the highest peak in South India. It is found in the national park. Now you need to remember the important peaks of India, especially in the southern region and the northern region and also the northeastern region. Now this is an important topic for your geography. Even this can be related to your environment, as examiner can link geography and environment together and they can ask a question. So you need to be aware about the important peaks of India. Now there are important rivers which crisscrosses the national park, and the important rivers are the tributaries of Periyar and Kaveri river. And Periyar river, it empties into Arabian Sea, and the Kaveri river, it empties on the eastern coast of India. Now the national park is also there are famous forests. The name of the forest is Poyamkutti and Idamaliyar forest, which are found in the national park, and a famous waterfall with the name of Lakom waterfall, it is found in the national park. So moving ahead further, we'll be discussing about the history of the national park. Now it was under the Karan Devan Hill Province Act when the state of Kerala, it purchased the land, that is, it took the land for developing this national park or declaring this national park from the Karan Devan Hills Produce Company. And in the year 1975, it was declared a wildlife sanctuary with the name of Ervikulam Rajmal Wildlife Sanctuary. And it was in the year 1978 when the status of national park was bestowed upon this sanctuary. So the other important aspects about the type of geographical features. Now this national park, it has a undulating topography and it is around 2000 meters above from the sea level. And the type of forests which are found in this national park are the shola forest, grasslands and shrubland. And it is also the part of the montane vegetation which is found in the national park. That is, the montane shola vegetation is found in the national park. Now we'll be discussing about the important flower species which is found in this national park, and it is the Neelkurunji flower, and they are important because they bloom once in 12 years, and the next year which they are stipulated to bloom is 2030. So remember the year, that is 2030, and these flowers, they bloom after 12 years. So remember this information also. Now there are other flowers and plants which are found in the national park, and the prominent ones are the wild blossoms and the epiphytic orchids. They are also found in the national park. Now about the animals, the important animals which are found in the national park are the Nilgiri Thar, as I mentioned earlier that it has a dedicated wildlife sanctuary for the conservation of Nilgiri Thar, and the IUCN status is endangered. There are other animals like small clawed otter, Nilgiri marten. They are also found in the national park. Now this national park has also got regional importance, as there are important rivers which are found in the national park, and the important river are the Periyar river, the Pamba river, and the important temple, that is the Sabrimala temple. It is located on the bank of Pamba river, and it is also provided, that is this national park and the rivers that flow through the national park, they provide an important source of water for the population which is living in the vicinity. And the national park is connected to the Chinar Wildlife Sanctuary, the Anaimudai Shola National Park, and the Kurunji Mala Sanctuary and the Annamalai Tiger Reserve. Now, these are the important sanctuaries and national park which are found in the state of Kerala. So you need to remember the names which are found in these are the other wildlife sanctuary which are found in the state of Kerala, and they are quite closer to the Ervekulam National Park. So students, that was all from our side. For more regular updates and videos, you can follow us on YouTube with the name of Infinity IAS Academy. Thank you.